The podcast you are about to listen to is centered on a Christian psychology book titled Mind of the Believer by Pastor Jonah Okwudiri Jacob. For inquiries on how you can order the audio/PDF version of this book or the hard copy, contact Impact Media on the information displayed at the end of this podcast. Pastor Jacob is both author and owner of the rights over Mind of the Believer. Stay blessed.
So, I want you to picture something for a second. You are, just staring at a window, completely lost in thought.
Right. Just totally zoned out.
Exactly. Zoned out, imagining this intense argument with your boss. You're playing out the whole back and forth in your head.
Oh, we've all been there.
Yeah, you are anticipating their criticisms. You're formulating your perfectly witty comebacks.
The ones you always think of way too late.
Right. But in your head, you're nailing it. And then suddenly you snap out of it and you realize your heart is literally pounding against your ribs.
Your palms are probably sweating too.
Yes. Sweaty palms, your breathing is shallow, your body is basically flooded with adrenaline, but you're just sitting alone in an empty room.
Nothing is actually happening.
Exactly. Absolutely nothing is happening to you in the physical world. But the crazy thing is, your brain doesn't know that.
It really doesn't.
Your body just reacted to a complete fiction as if it were this, life or death reality. So what if I told you that this little phenomenon, that mental movie playing out in your mind, is actually a hidden, untapped mechanical power?
Wow, yeah.
Like a power that's just waiting to be unleashed.
It is a profound and frankly unnerving feeling when you catch yourself in that state.
It really is,
because it's that moment when you realize your physical body is reacting violently to something that, does not technically exist yet.
Right, it's completely invisible.
Yeah, and it points to a very real, very tangible mechanism happening right beneath our conscious awareness.
Yeah.
What you just described, it's not idle fantasy.
Okay, so what is it then?
It's the raw engine of a mechanical process of creation.
Okay, let's unpack this, because that terrifying realization is exactly what we are diving into today.
Yeah, it's a massive topic.
It is. We are taking a deep dive into an audio exploration of a really fascinating book chapter. The book is called Mind of the Believer 5.
By Pastor Jonah Jacob.
Right, Pastor Jonah Jacob. And our mission today is to really thoroughly examine this concept of human imagination.
Not just as a daydream.
No, exactly. We're looking at it not as a distraction for when you're bored in the checkout line or as some child's game of pretend.
Right.
We're looking at it as an undeniable creative force that dictates the literal parameters of our everyday lives.
And, I think it's important to mention right off the bat, if you were listening to this and worrying that a text titled Mind of the Believer 5 might not be, for you.
Maybe it's too religious.
Yeah, exactly. Let me offer some immediate reassurance there.
Please do.
The author definitely approaches this topic from a deeply theological perspective. The text has undeniable spiritual roots.
For sure.
However, the psychical and practical implications of what Pastor Jacob is outlining here, they're entirely universal.
So you don't need to be in the pew every Sunday to get something out of this.
Not at all. You do not need to share the author's religious background to find the underlying mechanics of the mind fascinating.
Right.
The cognitive processes the text describes, they apply to every single human brain, regardless of your beliefs.
I'm so glad we are establishing that up front. Because, the ideas in this source material regarding the sheer horsepower of our own minds, they really cross all boundaries.
They absolutely do.
It basically forces you to look at your own daydreams under a microscope.
Yeah, which is uncomfortable sometimes.
Super uncomfortable.
Yeah.
So how do we elevate this concept of imagination from, just building castles in the sky to recognizing it as an actual force of physical reality?
Well, the source doesn't tiptoe into this at all.
No, it really goes for it.
It starts with an incredibly bold, almost shocking claim, actually.
It draws a direct parallel between human imagination and the genesis of the universe itself, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
The text deliberately references the phrase, in the beginning, God created.
Okay, wow.
And it uses that monumental concept of cosmic creation to anchor our understanding of our own minds.
That is a huge statement.
It's asking the reader to consider the concept of ex nihilo, which means creation out of nothing.
Wait, I have to push back on that right away.
I figured you might.
Yeah, because comparing my, grocery store daydreams to the literal creation of the universe feels like a massive leap.
It sounds a bit much.
Right. Isn't that just a bit of theological hyperbole designed to make the reader feel important? Are we really supposed to believe we're conjuring matter out of thin air?
Well, so Exactly what the text is not saying is that human beings are literal deities.
Okay, good, because I definitely can't do that.
Right? You cannot just snap your fingers and make a cup of coffee materialize on your desk.
I wish I could, but yeah.
But let's break down the why behind this comparison, because it is not hyperbole within the context of the mind's mechanics.
Okay, go on.
The author uses this parallel to highlight the immense world-shaping potential of our internal environments. Think about it. Before a bridge is built,
Or like before a symphony is composed.
yes, or before a business is launched, where does it exist?
Just in someone's head.
Exactly. It exists entirely in the void of the human imagination. Every single physical thing built by humanity started as an invisible thought before it was forced into physical reality.
Okay, when you put it like that, it shifts the perspective a bit.
Yeah, it grounds it.
So we aren't creating matter out of nothing, but we are creating the organization of matter out of nothing.
That is a perfect way to phrase it.
To try and ground this for you listening right now, let's look at an analogy.
I love analogies, yeah.
Think about a house being built. Let's imagine your mind is not a movie theater playing fiction, but rather an architect's drafting table.
Oh, that's good.
Right. The blueprint on that table is not a house. You can't, like, shelter from the rain under a piece of paper.
You get very wet.
Exactly. But the lines on that blueprint absolutely fundamentally dictate the physical reality that will eventually occupy that space.
The placement of the load-bearing walls, the depth of the foundation.
Yes, the height of the roof. Every physical limitation and possibility is determined before a single brick is actually laid in the mud.
The blueprint is not the house, but the house cannot exist without the blueprint.
Right, they're completely tied together.
And that framework brings us to one of the text's core, inescapable philosophies.
Which is?
You are not meant to be a passive spectator in your own life. You are a creator.
Wow. Okay.
If your mind is generating the blueprints, then you are the architect of your resulting reality.
That is a lot of responsibility.
It is. And this is where the psychology becomes incredibly fascinating. The human brain is a predictive organ.
Right, it's always guessing what's next.
Yes, and it constantly seeks to align its internal blueprint with the external environment.
Okay, so it wants the inside to match the outside.
Exactly. And if there is a mismatch, the brain experiences cognitive dissonance, and it will subconsciously drive your behavior to close that gap.
So wait, if my internal blueprint says I am a successful, capable person, but my external reality is that, I don't know, I am currently unemployed and sitting on my couch.
Your brain hates that mismatch.
It creates a psychological tension.
A massive tension. It essentially forces you to get off the couch, apply for jobs, and hustle until the physical world matches the blueprint.
It's like an itch you have to scratch.
That is the flawless mechanical process at work.
Yeah.
But to understand the gravity of this, we really have to look at the alternative.
What happens if you reject the role of the architect?
Right. The text contrasts the creator with the spectator.
Okay, so a spectator. A spectator sits in the stands, watches the game unfold, and maybe, cheers or complains about the outcome.
They definitely have opinions.
Oh yeah, they might yell at the referee, but they have absolutely zero impact on the field. The game happens to them.
And that's a very powerless place to be. Accepting the premise that your imagination is the blueprint, it shifts your entire worldview.
It drags you out of the stands.
Yes, and right onto the field. It takes you from a reactive state, where you believe life is just a series of random events that simply happen to you.
Which is how a lot of people live.
Oh, isn't it?
Yeah.
But it moves you to a proactive state where you understand that you're actively shaping the events.
It demands a much higher, maybe sometimes uncomfortable level of accountability for what you allow yourself to dwell upon.
Oh, absolutely.
So let's follow that thread, because if we accept this premise, if we accept that we are these creators holding this mental blueprint, how does this actually manifest in our daily behavior?
That's the real test.
Because I feel like a lot of people hear phrases like visualize your reality, and their brains immediately go to that pop psychology wishful thinking place.
The whole just manifest it trend.
Yes, they think, okay, I am going to sit in my living room, close my eyes, and imagine $1 million falling out of the sky.
And then they get frustrated when they open their eyes and they are still broke.
Exactly. So how is this different?
Well, the text actively works against that misconception. Wishful thinking is a trap.
It really is.
It is detached from belief, and it is entirely detached from action. The source makes a very sharp distinction between passive daydreaming and active self-image.
Active self-image, I like that phrase.
Visualizing success is not about casting a magical spell on the universe. It is about rewriting the internal script that dictates your autonomic nervous system and your behavioral patterns.
Here's where it gets really interesting. Active self-image. That is the core truth you hold about who you are when nobody else is looking.
Exactly.
And the text provides a very clear, very sobering, real-life example of how this works, particularly when that self-image is deeply flawed.
Yeah, this part of the chapter is intense.
It is. Let's dive into the mechanics of self-sabotage. The source uses the example of someone who sees themselves at their very core as unworthy of love.
Carrying an internal script that says, "I am unlovable," is a really heavy, painful burden.
It is heartbreaking.
But let's look at the underlying cognitive mechanisms of why this specific blueprint inevitably builds a house of isolation.
Okay, walk me through it.
It has to do with how our brains filter reality. We are bombarded with millions of bits of sensory information every second.
Like constantly, sights, sounds, everything.
Right. And our conscious mind can only process a tiny fraction of that. So the brain uses a filtering system, often referred to in psychology as the reticular activating system, or RAS.
The RAS.
Okay, yes. The RAS decides what information gets brought to your conscious attention.
And what determines the filter settings? The blueprint.
Precisely. The internal self-image programs the filter.
So if I think I'm unlovable.
This person's internal blueprint dictates that they are unworthy of love. Their filter is programmed to look for evidence that confirms this belief.
Wow. So it's literally seeking out rejection.
Yes, and it literally makes them blind to positive social cues. They could walk into a room and 3 people could smile at them warmly.
And they wouldn't even register it.
Their brain will filter those smiles out as totally irrelevant. Instead, their brain will hyper-focus on the one person in the corner who happens to be frowning at their phone.
The brain surfaces the frown because the frown matches the blueprint.
Exactly. The brain says, this confirms what we already know.
So this person unconsciously anticipates rejection in every single social interaction. They are predicting failure before they even say hello.
Which is exhausting.
So how does that translate into physical action? Like, what do they actually do?
Because they expect rejection, their body language changes automatically. They cross their arms.
They close themselves off.
They avoid eye contact. Their tone of voice might become defensive or, overly sarcastic to protect themselves.
So let's say they go on a date.
Right. They go on a date and they might unconsciously sabotage the evening by picking a fight over something trivial.
Or just by being so guarded that the other person feels a total lack of connection.
Exactly. And then what happens? The other person pulls away because they are receiving all these defensive, closed-off signals.
And when the other person pulls away, the person with the negative blueprint says, aha, I knew it. I knew I was unlovable.
It's a closed loop.
They actively, mechanically created the exact lonely reality they were terrified of.
Because they expected rejection, they behaved in a way that guaranteed rejection, thereby fulfilling their own negative expectations.
The blueprint dictated the house?
They built the house exactly to the specifications of their negative imagination. It is not magic. It is biology and psychology working in tandem.
The imagination was an active command to their nervous system. That is just wow.
It's incredibly powerful.
So, if this machinery is always running, if the brain is always trying to match the outside world to the inside blueprint, what happens when we use it to build something good?
The exact same process, but with a positive outcome.
Okay, let's look at the positive flip side. Let's say you have a major presentation coming up at work.
Really high stakes one.
Right, and instead of imagining yourself freezing up, sweating through your shirt, you constantly, vividly picture yourself handling the room with grace.
You're visualizing success.
Yeah, you imagine answering the tough questions confidently. What actually happens in your brain when the real-life obstacle finally appears?
This brings us to the science of mental practice and neuroplasticity.
Okay, neuroplasticity, that's a big word.
It just means your brain can change and adapt. When you consistently imagine yourself overcoming a challenge, you are effectively firing the exact same neural pathways that would fire if you were actually doing the activity.
Wait, really? Just by imagining it?
Yes. Your brain is laying down myelin, which is, well, think of it as the insulating sheath around your nerves that makes signals travel faster.
Like insulation on a wire?
Perfect analogy. You are physically altering your brain structure through imagination.
So by visualizing the successful presentation, I am literally building a biological superhighway for confidence.
You are building profound psychological resilience.
That makes so much sense.
Because you have already mentally navigated the hurdle dozens of times, your brain has a highly efficient script for success.
So when the real life friction occurs, like let's say the projector breaks during your presentation.
Or the client asks a really hostile question.
You do not panic.
No, because you don't quit at the first sign of trouble. Your internal blueprint has already mapped out the route around the obstacle.
Your brain recognizes the problem and simply executes the contingency plan it has already rehearsed.
It's like you've run the simulation 100 times in a flight simulator.
Right. When the real engine catches fire, the pilot doesn't scream and panic.
They just reach for the fire suppression switch because the neural pathway is already there.
You are no longer reacting to your environment out of fear. You are executing the plan your imagination already approved.
The physical action seamlessly follows the mental conviction.
This is incredibly empowering. I mean, it really is.
It gives you a lot of control.
But to be completely honest, it is also deeply terrifying.
I can see why you'd say that.
Because I know my own mind.
Yeah.
I know how easily I can slip into a dark place.
We all do.
Recognizing the sheer, uncompromising mechanical power of these self-fulfilling prophecies, it raises a massive red flag for me.
It should.
If this internal machine works this flawlessly to create reality, what happens when we feed it bad data?
That's the danger zone.
Right. What happens when I spend my commute imagining a scenario where I am a victim or where I just completely tell off my coworker?
That is the pivotal question. And it brings us to one of the most crucial warnings in mind of the Believer 5.
Because it's not all sunshine and rainbows.
No, the author does not just hand out rose-colored glasses and tell everyone to think happy thoughts.
Far from it.
The text issues a stark, uncompromising warning about the sheer destructive capability of our own minds.
Yeah, the source makes it painfully clear that your imagination is impartial.
It doesn't judge.
It is an obedient machine. It does not care if the blueprint is for a beautiful mansion or a high-security prison. It will diligently build whatever you give it.
Exactly.
So how does the author frame this warning?
Pastor Jacob anchors this warning in a very specific biblical quote from the book of Proverbs.
Okay, what's the quote?
Keep thy heart with all diligence, for out of it are the issues of life.
Keep thy heart.
Oh, okay. Now, if we connect this to the bigger picture, to understand the psychological weight of this, we need to translate that archaic word, heart, into our modern understanding of cognitive science.
Because they weren't talking about the organ pumping blood.
Right. In the context of ancient wisdom literature, the heart represented the subconscious mind.
Oh, interesting.
It was the seat of our deepest beliefs, our identity, and our imagination.
So keep thy subconscious mind with all diligence.
Yes.
Let's look at that word diligence. It implies hard, exhausting work.
It's not passive.
No, it implies a constant waking effort. You don't just set an alarm system once and leave the front door wide open.
It is an active guard duty.
It is a 247 perimeter security job.
The text is warning us that every fleeting thought, every momentary indulgence in bitterness, every time you allow yourself to marinate in self-doubt, you are actively shaping your reality.
You're literally giving the machine instructions.
Yes. You cannot afford to be careless with your mental imagery because out of it are the issues of life.
The results, the action.
The literal circumstances of your life flow directly from the contents of that internal space.
To bring this back to something visceral, I want to reference this incredibly powerful analogy used in the text.
The garden analogy.
Yes, the garden. The source compares the human mind to a garden. It points out that allowing negative thoughts to take root in your mind is exactly like planting weeds in a garden.
And then magically expecting beautiful orchids to grow.
Right. It simply doesn't work. It defies the laws of nature.
And according to the mechanics of the mind, it defies the laws of reality.
It perfectly illustrates the absurdity of human self-sabotage.
It really does. If you were a farmer, you would never intentionally plant seeds of thistle and poison ivy and then act shocked and victimized when harvest time comes and you don't have a field of wheat.
You'd be called crazy.
Yet we do this mentally every single day.
We really do.
We plant seeds of anxiety about the future. We plant seeds of resentment toward our spouses.
We plant seeds of profound self-doubt about our own competence.
And then we are baffled, literally baffled, when our lives yield a harvest of chronic stress, marital isolation, and professional failure.
I know for a fact that you listening to this right now have experienced that specific downward spiral of overthinking.
No, everyone has.
Let's walk through it. Let's say you get an ambiguous email from your boss at 4:30 p.m. on a Friday.
The worst time for an email.
The absolute worst.
Right.
And it just says, hey, we need to chat on Monday morning. That's it, 5 words.
And the mind goes wild.
Right. Now, instead of looking at the objective reality, which is just a meeting request, you decide to plant a weed.
A huge weed.
You start imagining all the ways you are failing at your job. You imagine the conversation where you get fired.
You imagine packing up your desk into a little cardboard box.
Yes. You imagine telling your partner you lost your income. You imagine losing your house.
And let's look at the physiological response to that imaginary scenario.
Okay, yeah.
Within an hour, your heart rate is elevated. Your body is dumping cortisol, the stress hormone, into your bloodstream.
You're in fight or flight.
Your digestion slows down, you go home, you're irritable, you snap at your kids, you sleep terribly all weekend.
Your entire physical and social reality has been fundamentally degraded for 3 days.
All because of a weed you decided to meticulously water in your imagination.
And then when Monday rolls around, your boss just wanted to ask you about, like, a new software update.
Exactly. The tragedy there is that your imagination was working perfectly.
Right, it did exactly what you told it to do.
The mechanism is flawless. It successfully created a reality of sheer stress and panic based entirely on the blueprint you provided.
The brain did its job.
This is why the active, ruthless diligence mentioned in Proverbs is so critical. You have to be the bouncer at the door of your own mind.
It's a heavy realization, but it is a necessary wake-up call.
I think this is the perfect moment to pause for a second.
Yeah, let's pause.
I want you to look at the garden of your own recurring thoughts over the last week. Just observe them objectively.
Like a neutral third party.
Right. Are you planting seeds for the reality you actually want to experience? Or are you accidentally, through a lack of diligence, cultivating weeds of self-sabotage?
That is a tough question.
What are you allowing to take root when you are alone with your thoughts?
That requires some brutal honesty, because no one else can tend that garden for you.
No one.
But let's say you've done the reflection, you understand the blueprint concept, you see the cognitive dissonance mechanism.
You're on board.
Right. You are actively trying to pull the weeds of anxiety and plant the good seeds of resilience.
Okay.
So what does this all mean? How do we actually build the house?
The action phase.
Because we know that just sitting on the couch, visualizing a clean kitchen, doesn't actually wash the dishes.
It definitely doesn't.
Staring at bare dirt, even if it's weed-free dirt, doesn't build a mansion.
A vital distinction. And it brings us to the necessary bridge between mental vision and daily action.
The bridge.
Because imagination without action is not creation, it is simply a delusion.
The text is emphatic about this. You can't just imagine yourself crossing the finish line of a marathon and expect a medal to arrive in the mail.
That would be nice, but no.
You have to physically lace up your shoes, step out your front door into the cold morning air, and put in the grueling miles. You have to train.
The imagination gives you the target, but the action is the arrow.
So how do we take this abstract, invisible power of the mind and force it into concrete, physical reality?
To understand that bridge, we have to examine one of the most frequently used and perhaps most misunderstood words in mind of the Believer 5.
Which word?
That word is believe.
Believe.
Yes. In modern vernacular, we often treat belief as a passive state.
Like, I believe the sky is blue.
Right. We think of it as simply nodding your head and agreeing with a concept, like believing that the earth is round. But Pastor Jacob does not frame belief as a passive state.
He doesn't.
Not at all. He frames belief as an active, daily, relentless choice.
So belief is a verb. It is not just a warm feeling that washes over you.
Belief is the engine that converts imagination into action. It is the conscious choice to focus on possibilities and to actively water the seeds of your dreams, especially when the external physical circumstances make those dreams seem utterly impossible.
That is a profound shift in definition.
The text integrates a very famous saying to hammer this point home. It's often attributed to Henry Ford.
Oh, I think I know this one.
Whether you think you can or you think you can't, you're right.
Whether you think you can or you think you can't, you're right. That phrase hits so much harder now that we understand the psychological mechanisms behind it.
It's not just a motivational poster anymore.
No, because whichever way you lean, your reticular activating system, your cognitive dissonance, your behavioral patterns will inevitably follow that belief. proving you right in the end.
If you believe you can't run the marathon, your brain will highlight every ache in your knee,
Every drop of rain outside.
every reason to stay in bed. You won't train. If you don't train, your muscles won't adapt. You will attempt the race, you will fail, and you will say, "See, I was right. I am not a runner."
But if you believe you can, your brain filters out the excuses.
Yes, you put in the hours.
You break down the muscle tissue so it grows back stronger. You show on race day, and you cross the finish line.
You were right.
The underlying belief dictated the physical action, which dictated the reality.
The belief is the bridge. And so, based on everything we've synthesized from the psychology and the theology of the text, we need to extract some very specific actionable habits.
I am ready for the action points.
It is time to move from theoretical mechanisms to practical application.
Let's get into the action points. Action point number 1. Align your daily routines with your ultimate mental picture.
This is crucial.
This requires a ruthless audit of your day-to-day life. If your mental picture, your grand blueprint, is the finish line of the marathon, your daily routine has to be the training.
They have to match.
Are the tiny, seemingly insignificant things you are doing at 2 near p.m. on a Tuesday logically leading to the big picture you are imagining for your future?
Right.
If your blueprint is a towering skyscraper, but your daily routine consists of just stacking a few twigs together and watching television,
There is a fundamental mismatch.
the house will never be built. You have to align the micro actions with the macro vision.
That alignment is where the friction of creation actually happens. It's hard work.
It is. So what's the next step?
Action point number 2 addresses how to start implementing this shift without becoming totally overwhelmed.
Because trying to change your entire life overnight is impossible.
It leads to immediate burnout. The text wisely advises us to start small. A highly practical starting point is to consciously, deliberately choose to see the good in other people.
Okay, I have to say, it sounds like something from a greeting card.
I know, it sounds a bit cliche.
But when you look at it through the lens of cognitive training, it is actually a radical exercise for your imagination.
It is a profound neurological workout.
How so?
Let's say you have a coworker who is consistently difficult or abrasive.
We all know one.
Your default neural pathway, your lazy imagination, might be to assume they are just a terrible person with malicious motives.
Right, that's the easiest assumption to make.
Choosing to see the good requires you to manually override that default setting. It forces you to actively imagine a positive context for their behavior.
Oh, like giving them the benefit of the doubt.
Exactly. Maybe they're going through a brutal divorce. Maybe they are terrified of losing their job.
You aren't doing it to be naive or to let people walk all over you.
Not at all.
You are doing it as a strategic exercise for your own brain.
Exactly. It trains your reticular activating system to look for the flowers instead of the weeds in your immediate environment.
It exercises that muscle of positive visualization in a very tangible, low-stakes way.
And if you can train your brain to find the good in an annoying coworker,
Then you are building the neural architecture required to find the hidden opportunities in a major life crisis.
precisely, you're building the foundation.
Which flows perfectly into action point number 3. Shift your problem-solving paradigm.
This is a big one.
What does that actually look like in practice? It means actively forcing your imagination to generate solutions rather than allowing it to dwell on the existence of the problem.
Because we all hit roadblocks.
Yeah, when a crisis happens at work, your imagination can either spend 4 hours building a meticulously detailed, terrifying mental picture of how this roadblock is going to ruin your quarter,
Get you fired.
destroy your reputation.
Which, as we established, will only flood your system with cortisol and shut down the creative centers of your brain.
Right. Or you can catch yourself, interrupt that downward spiral, and force your imagination to start drafting blueprints for how to get around the roadblock.
Changing the focus.
How can we leverage a different department? How can we spin this delay as a quality control feature for the client?
It is the stark difference between letting your imagination trap you in a cage versus demanding that your imagination forge a key.
Both require massive amounts of mental energy.
They do. Both require you to construct a reality that does not currently exist.
But only one leads to productive, life-giving action. You must train your mind to vividly imagine the solution.
That's the essence of being a creator.
This has been such a practical, grounding progression. I mean, we've gone from the cosmic genesis of the universe down into the neurobiology of self-sabotage, all the way to how we handle an abrasive coworker on a Tuesday.
It covers a lot of ground.
It really does. But as we start to pull all these conceptual threads together, there is one massive, undeniable implication hovering over this entire conversation.
There is.
I feel like we have to address it.
Up until now, we have been discussing this as an isolated, individual phenomenon.
Right, like it's just about me and my brain.
But this raises an important question, perhaps the most weighty question of our entire deep dive.
What's that?
If our internal thoughts and our self-image shape our reality so powerfully, and if our reality dictates how we behave and interact with the physical world, what is our ultimate responsibility to our community?
Wow, that is where this moves from self-help into profound moral responsibility.
It does.
Because it's not just about me manifesting a promotion or a good day for myself.
The text frames this as an overwhelming but ultimately beautiful burden of truth. We are not isolated islands.
No, we really aren't.
Human beings deeply interconnected, emotionally and socially. Our small, seemingly private acts of internal imagination create external ripples that crash into everyone around us.
Oh, man.
If you allow weeds of bitterness, anxiety, and paranoia to grow unchecked in your mental garden,
those thorns eventually grow outward.
exactly, you become cynical, you become reactive. And eventually, those thorns prick the people up.
You bring that toxic harvest right into your home and your workplace.
We've all felt that. We call emotional contagion.
Emotional contagion, yes. You know when someone walks into a room and their internal blueprint is just so dark and heavy that it literally changes the temperature of the room?
Oh, absolutely.
They haven't even said a word yet, but
Yeah.
you feel the weight of their negative expectation. Discourage the people around them. They drain the energy.
Conversely, if you diligently cultivate a mental landscape of hope, resilience, and solution-oriented thinking, you become a deep well of strength for your community.
You lift people up.
If you walk into a room holding a blueprint of possibility, you elevate the people around you. You act as a catalyst.
Because by embracing your role as a creator, you inadvertently give the people around you permission to be creators too.
It's the ripple effect of the architect.
Your internal blueprint doesn't just build a house for you, it alters the skyline of the entire neighborhood.
That's a beautiful way to put it.
If you build a fortress with no windows, you cast a shadow on your neighbors. If you build something beautiful, you elevate the value of everything around you.
It is the ultimate weight of responsibility.
Yeah.
We are co-creating this shared reality together. Pastor Jacob's text is urgently pleading with us to recognize that our imagination is not a private playground where our thoughts have no consequences.
It is a public utility.
Yes, what you generate internally, eventually, inevitably, pollutes or purifies the external environment we all have to live in.
What an incredible, demanding journey the source material has taken us on.
It really forces you to reevaluate everything.
To recap where we started and the paradigm shift we have arrived at, we have learned that the mechanics of the human mind absolutely forbid us from being mere spectators in this life.
We can't just sit in the stands.
We are, by our very cognitive nature, creators. Our deep-seated self-image, heavily filtered by our nervous system, acts as the architectural blueprint for our external reality.
The blueprint dictates the house.
By actively choosing the verb of belief, we lay down the neural pathways of perseverance needed to overcome real-world obstacles.
Belief as action.
We must be fiercely, exhaustingly diligent in guarding our minds against the weeds of negativity, and ultimately, we must bridge the gap by ensuring our physical daily actions violently align with our grandest mental visions.
We have been given an extraordinary, flawless mechanism.
We have.
The question facing you today is no longer whether or not you are creating your reality. You are.
The only question that remains is what reality you are choosing to create. Which brings us all the way back to that very first thought. That moment of sitting in a quiet room, realizing your racing heart and sweaty palms were caused by nothing more than a daydream.
It's proof.
It is a biological testament to the undeniable world-shaping power locked inside your own skull. So I want to leave you with a final thought to mull over today, building on that concept of the ripple effect and our shared environment.
Let's hear it.
If every single thought you have is a brushstroke on the canvas of reality, and those strokes eventually paint the world, not just for you, but for your family, your friends, and everyone who interacts with you, what masterpiece are you unintentionally denying the world simply because you doubt your own creative power?
Wow.
Thank you so much for joining us on this deep dive into the extraordinary mechanics of your own mind. Until next time, keep guarding your garden, keep believing, and keep creating the reality you want to see.